Larry McKern and Mark Murphy from the NFL 2024 annual meeting. And Mark, I suppose the headline act coming out of this thing is the new kickoff return. It's back in the game. What can you tell us?
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting and exciting to see how it plays out this year. We did have some concerns, Larry, though, about it's such a dramatic change that we thought that it might make sense to have it as an experiment in preseason and see how it works out. But it was passed on a one-year basis. It's a play that's completely different than anything we've ever seen in the NFL. The XFL did use it. We've changed it a little bit from the XFL model, but we anticipate we'll probably have 80% of the kicks returned versus this year where it was 20, so it's kind of flipping it. So it makes the play a little bit more like the punt where people are running together. It's going to be really interesting to see some of our coaches, and I think we have one of the better special teams coaches in Rick Bisaccia. I know he's already thinking of strategies that he can use to his advantage. But I think it'll be good for the game. Hopefully the play, and it's passed for a one year on a one-year basis. So if there are some things that surprised us a little bit or there were some unintended consequences, we'll be able to evaluate it after one season.
Anything new about the possibility of the Packers playing in Brazil this season?
No, nothing yet. I do anticipate we'll get a decision on that pretty soon. The only issue for us, it's really from a competitive standpoint. The size of the runway in Green Bay is relatively small compared to some of the other airports, and so the issue is whether or not we can get a larger plane into Green Bay where we could fly. It's a 12-hour flight would be a 12-hour flight from Green Bay all the way to Sao Paulo, and whether or not there's a plane big enough to be able to make that flight without having to stop.
Mark, as a former all-pro safety, can you give me your own personal scouting report?
From a two-time all-pro center.
Well, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, but could you give us a scouting report on Xavier Mckin?
I tell you, well, first of all, I'll tell you that just meeting him, the kind of person he is, really was very impressed. The fact that he's so young and was the captain of the team speaks highly of him. Just watching some of the film, obviously his ability to turn the ball over and create plays on defense really stood out. Really excited about seeing what he can do. And he's only 24, so really excited about his future.
Mark, football-wise, it seems like you guys have hit a real sweet spot. You've got your quarterback. You're coming back with a good team.
Yeah.
You have 11 picks in the draft, 5 in the first 91. Have you ever seen such a sweet spot for a football team during this point in the offseason?
Every year is kind of up and down, but a year ago there was a lot of uncertainty. And the expectations were probably lower than normal, and I think we exceeded them. And obviously, making the playoffs and advancing was great. Now the expectations are higher. We'll be circled on more people's calendars this year and their schedules this year because of the kind of success we had.
Back home, there's news about the Green Bay Packers and their lease with the city of Green Bay involving Lambeau Field. Can you shed any light on that situation?
Yeah, we've had ongoing negotiations with the city. A couple weeks ago, I got a call from the mayor saying that he was going to cease negotiations. Really, quite honestly, not only disappointed but also very surprised. We're a community-owned team. We're going to give back. We want to work things out. We're not asking for any public money. We've invested a lot of money into the stadium and into the community with Titletown, and we've told the city we'll continue to invest in the future. And I think we estimate, over going out many years, we're willing to put over $1.5 billion into the stadium. So hopefully we can get together and reach an agreement. The other thing that will affect our fans a little bit, given the uncertainty of the negotiations, we put a halt on $80 million in improvements to mostly the concourse areas and the concessions in the stadium. which, unfortunately will affect our fans and also kind of our ability to host fans for the draft coming up in 2025.
Those fans very excited about hosting the draft in 2025. How are the preparations going?
Very well. I think the league office had a number of people here last week, and obviously Detroit's coming up. They're hosting the draft in a little over a month. Once we get past Detroit, I think then, and it's really the league's event, but, we're obviously very involved in it. But, I think as we get past Detroit, I think there's be a real focus on, exactly what the plans will look like. But we're very excited. I think it'll be the biggest event ever held in Green Bay. We anticipate, over the course of the week of the draft, there'll be about 250,000 people come into Green Bay, and it's exciting. I think it would really be great for the community.
One last thing for you, Mark.
Sure.
Jordan Love,
Yeah.
going to be the new face of the franchise. Is the young fella ready for that job?
Absolutely. Yeah, the way he handled himself, not only on the field and playing, but off the field as a leader, and you can just see that his teammates have great respect for him and want to play for him. I think we're in very good hands with Jordan as our leader.
Mark, thank you.
Oh, thank you, Larry. Wow.
And that's it from the NFL's annual meeting here in Orlando. Larry McCarron, Packers.com.